What is going on, everyone? BLN here. Today we're going to be discussing the AL Division Series between the Yankees and the Indians. But before we get into that, if you guys have not checked out my National League wildcard game recap video, the link will be in the description down below. It is currently 3:37 a.m. and I have Comic-Con, literally New York Comic-Con, in another 3 hours, so I'm going to be exhausted. I'm getting no sleep. I'm probably just going to come home, watch the playoff games, and still get no sleep because I'm just going to be so excited for the wildcard game. For the playoff games between the Red Sox and the Astros and the Yankees and the Indians. Also, in that video, that recap video from last night, I go over the Red Sox and Astros and the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. So check that out for sure if you guys want to hear my thoughts on that series. I'm going to have the Cubs and Nationals prediction video out on Friday. But anyways, let's get into it because this is supposed to be about the Yankees and the Indians. So I am going to go over the whole series as a whole. I'm not just gonna go over game one. I'm gonna go over the whole series as a whole. I'm conflicted, guys. I'm legit conflicted. I want to go with the Cleveland Indians. Obviously, they're a hot team. They're the hottest team going into the playoffs. They're looking for revenge. They're looking to get that championship that they didn't get last year after being up 3-1 and they just gassed out. They were just so tired, and yeah, they're just great. There's nothing else I can say. They won 22 games in a row. They were, hot going into the playoffs. We all know this. I don't have to state this. You guys know about Jose Ramirez, I believe now. You guys already know about how great Michael Brantley can be. How great Jay Bruce has been since joining the Indians. He's been a freaking monster since joining the Indians. Francisco Lindor, obviously, is another great one. And then you have Kluber, Miller, Carrasco, Bauer, who's a decent starter. I can name it. I can name you guys a bunch of players on the Indians that are great. And as much as I want to go with the Indians and as much as it's logical to go with the Indians, guys, I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to go with the New York Yankees. I have to go with the Yankees. They are my team. I just have to root for them, guys. I love the Yankees. I've been a Yankee fan since I can remember, since my grandfather put baseball on the TV for me when I was 5. I've loved the Yankees. So I have to go with the Yankees. I can't not go with the Yankees here. And let's get started with the series and as a whole, because I haven't really talked much about it. I just given you guys who I think is going to win. I think the Yankees will win in 5. Sonny Gray is going to be on the mound for Game 1 against Trevor Bauer. Kluber will pitch Game 2, which means he'll go up against CeCe. I believe Tanaka will be pitching Game 3, Sevy 4, and then obviously if you want to go back to Sonny Gray, you can go back to Sonny Gray for Game 5. Or you can go with Sevy, you can't go with Sevy, but you're going to go with Gray for Game 5. The Yankees, the key for the Yankees to win this series, because both teams have great bullpens. So I'm not going to sit here and say that the bullpen is the case. Both teams have a great bullpen. Obviously, which bullpen performs the best will be the winner of this series. But both teams have elite bullpens. Obviously, the Yankees have Canely. They have Betances, who needs to kind of get right, but we'll see if he gets right or not. Chapman. They have D-Rob, who you saw pitched wonderful in that wildcard game. Green. I can list a bunch of Yankee relievers that have been great this season. Same thing with the Indians. They have Miller. They have Allen. They have Shaw. They have they have Allen. Jesus. And they got Boone Logan as well, who's another good left-handed specialist. They got guys. They got guys in the pen. Both teams got guys in the pen. But to me, the key to this series is in order for the Yankees to win, the Yankees have to take at least one of the 2 games in Cleveland. If the Yankees can take Game 1, which is a steal for the Yankees, the fact that Corey Kluber is not pitching Game 1 is a steal for the Yankees. The Yankees, if they can take that game, because you're not going into Game 2 thinking that you're going to beat Corey Kluber, but if the Yankees can go in and at least win Game 1 against Bauer, lose to Kluber, they got 2 games up in the Bronx. They can win the series in the Bronx. If not, they're going to have to win in Game 5 against Kluber, and I believe that that's what it's going to have to take. The Yankees are going to have to beat Kluber at least once in the series in order to win the series. And that's going to be the key. And the key is whether Judge can continue to keep his hot streak going since he's gotten hot in September. Frazier needs to step up. And Jacoby Ellsbury, this man is getting paid $147 million, I believe it is. And he complains about not being in a big-time playoff game when he was on the bench against the Astros in 2015, yet he did nothing in that wildcard game, absolutely nothing. And I know Jacoby Ellsbury has had a decent second half, but Jacoby Ellsbury, don't ever complain about being on the bench for a big time game ever again if you're going to perform like that. I am sorry, you talk all this talk, but you did not perform, period. So I'm just gonna leave that there. I don't want to go on too much of a rant, but the key is going to be guys like Ellsbury. If Ellsbury can step up, if Judge can continue his hot hitting, if Gardner can work at bats like he did in that first inning against Irvin Santana to start that rally, the Yankees have a chance to make this series interesting, to get Kluber out of the game early, to get to that pen, even though that pen is elite. If you can tire out that pen throughout the series, that is going to be a key as well. Didi Gregorius has to continue hitting. Sanchez needs to hit. Sanchez didn't show me anything in that wildcard game. I know he got a double, I believe it was, in that. I believe it was that fourth inning, that inning right after Berrios came in, or that very inning where Berrios came in, and then Bird got the hit in right field. But Bird has to be another guy that contributes. If Bird, Aaron Judge, Sanchez, Didi, and Gardner can all perform, I think they can get away with the lack of performance from Jacoby, from Frazier, and from other people in that lineup like Hicks as well. But that all depends on if those guys can produce. Chase Headley should be playing in this series. I expect Chase Headley to be big. He has been big for the Yankees all season long. Since that first month, he got cold a little bit, but he's still been consistent overall to me throughout the season. As for the Indians are going to need Jose Ramirez to continue to do what Jose Ramirez has done. If Jay Bruce continues his hot hitting like he has since being traded to them, the Yankees might be done. The Yankees might honestly be done. It's all going to be about containing Jay Bruce, to me, containing Jose Ramirez, which I have not seen the Yankees be able to do. Michael Brantley has to be contained as well. And Francisco Lindor. If you guys let Francisco Lindor run around the bases, he's going to drive the Yankees nuts. If you let Jay Bruce hit you with a long ball, that's going to kill the Yankees. If you let Jose Ramirez beat you in any facet of the game, whether it's his bat or whether it's just him running the bases, that's going to affect the Yankees' chances of winning. If the Yankees don't go into each game at least with a lead going into the 5th or 6th inning, that's going to cause the Yankees to lose as well. There's so many factors as to how the Yankees can lose. Both teams are equally matched when it comes to the bullpen. The Yankees have also gotten hot at the right time of the season, and maybe the Indians got a little too hot. A little too hot early on in this stretch. Maybe they're going to start to cool off now, but that's a big if. I don't think the Indians are going to cool off, but there may be a chance that the Indians just got a little too hot a little too early as well, and it might be time for them to cool down, and they might cool down. But especially with a 3-day layoff, when you're hot like that, you just want to continue to play baseball more and more and more. And the fact that the Indians now have 3 days off where they haven't been able to play baseball, they haven't really been able to see fastballs, they haven't been able to see any type of pitches, and they finally they definitely been practicing, but there's no greater thing than the real thing. You have to be going up against the real thing to stay fresh, to me. And the Indians don't have that. And that's not the Indians' fault. The Indians had a great second half. The Indians have been hot. But maybe, just maybe, they got hot, like I said, a little too early. And maybe that'll cause the Cleveland Indians to lose this series. We'll see. But like I said, it's all going to come down to if the Yankees can have a lead in the 5th or 6th inning, because the Yankees have that elite bullpen. Because if they don't and they're tied, or the Indians have the lead, you obviously have to face that great Indians bullpen. You're obviously going to have to deal with the Cleveland Indians probably taking this series from you if you are not careful. So we'll see how it's going to be. Like I said, Jay Bruce, Jose Ramirez, Francisco Lindor are all going to be, and Edwin Encarnacion, I haven't even mentioned him. You can't let Edwin Encarnacion beat you as well. He has that bat. He is clutch in the postseason. He obviously has some great postseason moments with the Blue Jays. So I would be careful. They have the power, they have speed, and they can defend, and they have a great bullpen. So the Yankees have to be careful for those bats. Encarnacion, Francisco Lindor, Jay Bruce, and Jose Ramirez. If the Yankees can contain those guys and have a lead, the Yankees will win the series. If not, the Yankees will lose this series. But the Cleveland Indians also have to contain that young Yankee lineup. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this prediction video. I am going to review these Yankee games and a lot of other playoff games after New York Comic-Con is over, which will be over on Sunday. I'm sorry, guys, that I won't be able to review most of these games. It just so happens to be that Comic-Con comes around this time of the year, and I participated. But if you guys liked the video, make sure to leave a like down below, comment as well, and subscribe if you are new, and let me know who you guys think are going to be the key contributors to the series later, guys.